Yes, sir, you can start.
We'll start. Yeah, okay. Let's start with the universal prayer. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Dr. Shinde, please.
Thank you, Muralidharan, Vimalji, and Geeta, all of you who belong to Gandhinagar Lodge. I am grateful to you all. And also, I welcome all the online uh, people who are listening to this fragment second, the two path of the voice of the silence. So, fragment second is titled as two path. In this, today we are going to deal with verses from 139 to 157, because this deals with the secret path, that is to accept the wheel of earth or woes of earth, and also feel of the path. So these are the two things voice of the silence tries to explain us. We go on reading the secret of the path, which is mentioned in verses 139, 140, and 141. So this shows, if thou wouldst reap sweet peace and rest, if thou wouldst reap sweet peace and rest, then voice of the silent ask, disciple, sow with the seeds of merit the fields of future harvest, and accept the woes of birth. This is what the first 139 verse. It is a call. It is a three call. First, accept the woes of earth, sow the seeds of the merit in the field of future harvest, and reap sweet peace and rest. So this is the 139. We can explain it later, but I am reading first. Then 140 verse, step out from sunlight into shade to make more room for others. The tears that water the parched soil of pain and sorrow bring forth the blossoms and the fruits of karmic retribution. Out of the furnace of man's life and its black smoke, winged flames arise, flames purified, that soaring onwards beneath the karmic eye. Then view in the end the fabric glorified of the three vestures of the path. And in 141, it says these vestures are Nirman Kaya, Sambhog Kaya, Dharma Kaya, robe sublime. Robe sublime is what we are having, Rupa Kaya, as a candidate or a neophyte. So in 139 and 140, 141, in 141, it explains the three upper kayas. Then in 140, we are asked to forget our own peace and rest and come one step forward towards helping others, so that he can come 10 steps towards us. And in 139, there are three calls: to accept the woes of birth, to sow the seeds of merit, and reap sweet peace and rest. So to comment on this, what I can say, karma, as we know, is created by man's daily thoughts and actions. So, if he wishes to reap sweet peace and rest, he must learn to govern his thinking in order to set into motion the causes which will bring him peace of mind rather than adverse conditions which will make him or would tend to slow down his spiritual progress. This is what very important commentary, because we must be very careful about our habits and about our building of character. Very habits, it is said, very good proverb. When you are addicted to certain habit, I am saying using the word addicted. So in this addiction, there are three processes. The man takes a drink first, then the second process, the drink takes a drink, and the third process, the drink takes a man. But where the will is dominant, it will not happen so. So again here, the clue is also given in the proverb. You may be habituated, and we all are habituated, no doubt, but we should not be carried by our habit. Develop the strong willpower, and you will find the path to get through it. It is important to know, understand this fact, which is very well explained in Theosophy, in the very law of karma. As we all know, it is created by man's daily thoughts and actions, and it is watched, sure. Watch it. So, a watchful eye is watching what we are thinking, what we are feeling, how we are behaving. So, watch your thoughts first, because they become words. Then watch your words carefully, and then speak, because they become actually an action. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. And finally, watch your character, because they become your destiny. So clear teaching is given in our theosophical teaching. So we must be careful about it. Then, second says, step out from sunlight into shade to make more room for others. So it is very important, if you are not able to do certain responsibility, then step out from it so that it will be more room for the others. The tears that water the parched soil of pain and sorrow bring forth the blossoms and this fruit of karmic retribution. So here the voice repeatedly says to the disciple to forget his own peace and rest in order to help others to find their way. But how? By assisting others and helping others, eventually they may begin to teach in their own turn. So what you know, let the others know. As I said in the beginning, we can purchase the book and keep it there. Then in due course, we will start reading it. Thus, more room is made for others. Second thing, we must remember, pain and sorrow are not given us more than our capacity to bear. As the Lord of Karma is very just, once man's lessons have been learned, he can look forward to a rich harvest, because for the slightest effort to raise himself is known and the forces of good rush to help him. So always you are helped. If you are on the spiritual path, as I said in the beginning, if you take one step, they will help you and take you more fastly ahead, step forward of 10 steps. So hidden teaching is the great evolutionary plan is known to every atom of our body constitution, which is also in a state of becoming. How many of us you know that body has got its own consciousness, and all atoms in the body, they have got their own consciousness, and they are also in the process of becoming. The three gestures, then what he speaks, already been touched upon as the three kayas, that information is given life after life. So any good work that is done by a disciple, even if he comes into the work late in life, but then it is carried over into his next incarnation. But the impulse to continue the work will be felt at any early age. Also, there is a great benefit derived from the stay in Devachana. Everybody wants to go in Swarga, heaven, because in Swarga, he continues his work, he develops his will, and transforms all his experiences into eternal concepts and faculties which reflect his divine nature. So, who can remain in the Swarga or heaven for longer period? Only one who has no desires of life, so many things which we are attached to the earthly life. If they all are removed, then we can enjoy the life of heaven. Because in that heaven, Devchan we call, where he continues his work, develops his will, and transforms all his experiences into eternal concepts and faculties, and then he can take birth. So some people are, even in childhood, they are very well spiritually developed. And it is only then these gestures like Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, and robe sublime. So here I want to explain these kayas because it is the Buddhic term, but it is better to understand. This is what I tried to explain in the secret doctrine talk
Yeah.
also, symbolically. Where these kayas are there. See, up to the top, there is Dharmakaya, and straightway in the middle, there is a Rupakaya. We all have this Rupakaya. Rupakaya means we are the star body. We are the pentagon star. And we are in this Rupakaya. And then left and right, Nirmanakaya and Sambhogakaya. These are all higher bodies. They don't have any kind of rupa. These are the arupa bodies. That is Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya. Especially the Nirmanakaya is little bit, sometimes they get visible to the material world. Then come down to the causal, directly in the middle I am telling. So this is the causal body. This is the causal body where all our actions are stored. And it is connected to the Atmic Kaya and Buddhic Kaya. Atmic Kaya and Buddhic Kaya above, and below it is connected with the Astral Kaya and what is this? Mental Kaya. Is it mental? Yeah.
Yes,
Astral Kaya and Mental Kaya. So then come down to the vital Kaya, Prana, Prana Kosha. So when Prana goes, the vital Kaya goes, then we die. And down is the physical Kaya. So when we use this word Kaya, is vehicles. And once we understand this, the symbol of the life tree. So the kayas are at the top: Dharma kaya, Sambhog kaya, and Nirmana kaya. And the masters, when they appear in the physical form, they take the Nirmana kaya. But we are, in true sense, are having this Rupakaya, which is the star within, which needs to be kindled. So this is what I want to convey about these kayas. And we'll go further, because again in next verses they are explained very nicely also. But unless we have this entire idea, we cannot understand the further thing. So let us go to the verse 142. That begins with the Shangana robe. It is true, can eternal. The Shangana robe alone gives the nirvana of destruction. Destruction of the personality, lunar body. That is, it stops rebirth. But O Lanu, it also kills compassion. No longer can the perfect Buddhas who don the Dharmakaya glory help man's salvation. Alas, shall selves be sacrificed to self, to mankind, unto the wheel of units. So this is what the 142 is acquired when one master the personality. Shangana robe. I will explain that Shangana robe after. Then in 143, know, O beginner, this is the open path, the way to selfish bliss. Way to selfish bliss, shunned by the bodhisattva of the secret heart, the Buddhas of compassion. And in 144, this is many times we quote, to live to benefit mankind is the first step. And to practice the 6 glorious virtues is the second step. So becoming a virtuous man is the second step. But we begin to work, benefit mankind. That is what it teaches us. Altruistic life, altruism is the key to this. So what we have studied now, Nirmanakaya is the body of incarnation, Sambhogakaya is body of enjoyment, and Dharmakaya is body of truth. So, and robe sublime is body sublime of a candidate or neophyte on the path. And when it says Shangan robe, HPB in footnote, that Shangan robe means metaphorically the acquiring of wishes with which the nirvana of the personality is entered. Literally, it is the robe of candidates. That is, stopping of rebirth means balancing of karma and destruction of personality. Destruction of the lunar body means lunar is the desire, and becoming desireless is very difficult qualification, because from discrimination desirelessness comes, and that desirelessness is the destruction of the personality. This, of course, is for the disciple who is nearing the peak of attainment. One more term is used here, selfish bliss. Because the voice of the silent states, this may appear to be selfish, but actually nothing can possibly be selfish on higher planes. So being oneself is not selfish on higher plane. But find we become, we are more selfless and the meaning as one who seeks union with the all, instead of remaining behind to help others. But to have found that bliss through many incarnations of suffering, that soul has surely earned the peace he sought. So, whether to enter nirvana or to forsake it, choice, then the to live to benefit mankind is the first step, and to practice the six glorious virtues is the second. So there is a reference to these virtues at the beginning of the second fragment, which tells us of the six glorious virtues transforming the body into the tree of life or tree of knowledge, one of the systems which can make man a god. And as we are aware, six attainments, six virtues like samadama, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana, or paramitas, dana, sila, shanti, virya, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These are the virtues, glorious virtues, of course. And that is the second step. The first step is to benefit mankind. Then in verse 144, that is what I read. To live to benefit mankind, 144. Then 145, to don Nirmankaya's humble robe is to forgo eternal bliss for self, to help on man's salvation, to reach nirvana's bliss, but to renounce it is the supreme, the final step, the highest on renunciation path. Renunciation of self is the only key to progress and become perfect in the spiritual path. So to don Nirmankaya's humble robe is to forgo eternal bliss for self, to help on man's salvation, to reach nirvana's bliss, but to renounce it is the supreme, the final step, the highest on renunciation's path. I am reading repeatedly because at least we must acquaint with these terms. Then 146, know, O disciple, this is the secret path. This is selected by the Buddhas of perfection, who sacrifice the self to weaker self. Again, there are many perfected Buddhas and also unperfected Buddhas. When we study the seven portals in the third fragment, there are seven portals are there, but again, seven perfected portals are also he has to pass. So this is just passing reference is made here. Know, O disciple, this is the secret path selected by the Buddhas of perfection, who sacrifice the self to weaker selves. The whole philosophy of theosophy is teaching us the way of perfection. We are definitely imperfect. Only masters are perfect. And we are aspiring to be the disciples of the masters. So when it says to don Nirmankaya humble robe, what greater sacrifice can a man make than to lay down his life for his brothers? So this is what brotherhood is taught. We can lay down our life for our brother. Brother here, not the family born, blood related brother, but all brothers, all living beings. That is what universal brotherhood explains. A potential savior of the world is that who gladly sacrifices his lower self in order to serve the higher. Then in 146 verse, know, O disciple, this is the secret path. And this is selected by Buddhas of perfection, who sacrifice the self to weaker selves. And HPB explains, how towards the end of the third fragment, the warrior who nears victory. So the end is very, very glorious. Now we'll go to the next one more projection I want to show you. Because when we read the Voice of the Silence, uh, it shows don't wait for the opportunities, but you have to create it. How? By virtues. So a person here, candidate, carrying the virtues in his bag, bag, the virtues are within you. And you must climb that ladder step by step and resisting or what we can say, solving our challenges or attaining to our challenges, overcoming our challenges, step by step we can rise. So efforts never go to waste. You might not always achieve success, but you will always make progress. This is what I want to focus in this. One more thing I would like to mention here, because we are celebrating the Ashala also yesterday on 29, the Noble Eightfold Path of Buddha. So we should have right vision, because when you see clearly, there is no question of choice. That is what Krishnamurti taught us. So the very beginning is the right vision. And to attain that right vision, one must have right thinking, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right efforts, and right care of our obligations, and then right concentration, dharana. Then we get the right vision. This is the Noble Eightfold Path. We always remember on the Ashala. And to practice it, right practice, we are advised, especially the Voice of the Silence advises us to 12 suggested characteristics which will last a year. Best of all is to make our own such things. Each month, one virtue you can contemplate, starting with devotion, steadfastness, steadiness, then perseverance, unselfishness, compassion and sympathy, courtesy, cheerfulness, patience, control of speech, courage, discretion, and generosity. You can keep one diary and go on writing, go on reading, go on expressing your own views. 1 month on devotion, second month on steadiness. Like this, you become a very good, what we can say, good collection of your virtues. So this is, of course, second step. The aim is to help others is the first step. Now we'll go to the next fragment, 147, which says, yet if the doctrine of the heart is too high winged for thee, if thou needest help thyself and fearest to offer help to others, then thou of timid heart, be warned in time, remain content with the eye doctrine of the law. Eye doctrine of the law. So, eye doctrine of the law, somebody is watching you, and therefore you must have developed this watchfulness. Watch your words because they become actions. Watch your habits, actions because they become your habits, and watch your habits because they become your character. Here, this is the secret part, eye doctrine of the law, and hope still for the secret path. The secret path is unattainable this day, but don't lose the hope. Have hope. It is within thy reach tomorrow. It is not tomorrow, tomorrow. Tomorrow here divided it is. Tomorrow means next incarnation. This is what it is said. Secret path is unattainable this day. It may be unattainable this day, but it is within thy reach tomorrow. To learn that no efforts, not the smallest, whether in right or wrong direction, can vanish from the world of causes. Even wasted smoke remains not traceless. A harsh word uttered in past lives is not destroyed, but ever comes again. The paper plant will not give birth to roses, nor the sweet jasmine's silver star to thorn or thistle turn. So poetic, but pregnant meaning in each and every word. So to comment on this 147 verse, if we should find that the doctrine of the heart is really too difficult for us to follow, then we must not despair, but we just keep on working and learning. One day, whether in this incarnation or in the next one, we shall reach the position where our ideal will be perfectly natural and comparatively easy to do. In fact, we are ideal men because we have ideals in front of us. We work with those ideals. Golden stairs are also ideals to us. So no sincere efforts passes unwatched by the silent watcher within. Who is watching? There is a silent watcher within, and he always watches. When we are aware of this, we don't do wrong. That is what it is called. Our conscience pinches us. Geoffrey Barbaroca's book, Man's Potent Forces, in which he writes, the remarkable thinking is that at any moment along the pathway of life, an individual has the power of choice. So again, you are given freedom. Free will is there. Choice is there. So he has the ability to create a new pattern for himself. Therefore, we must never, rather ever think that anything is impossible to us. In simple words, at the feet of the master says to the Argyoni that man can do what man has done. So we must never ever think that anything is impossible to us. And in the dictionary of the masters, there is no word like ingratitude and impossible. Because there is nothing impossible to the divine self within. He is self-sufficient, omniscient, omnipotent. So students frequently ask, would the divine self within be interested in our everyday problems? This question is asked. Then our higher self is really interested in our everyday problems? Whether he is really looking at? Of course, it has been written that there is nothing that happens in this world without the divine self knowing about it. As we live and move and have our being in that one self. How can fish can think of water not watching it? Therefore, it stands to reason that our problems are known to him. So if you desire, you get it. Knock the door, door will be opened. So in next verse 148, thou can create this day thy chances for thy morrow. Thy chances for thy morrow in the great journey. Causes sown each hour bear each its harvest of effects. Because rigid justice rules the world. There is justice in the world, universe. Universe is just. Within mighty sweep of never-erring action, it brings to mortals lives of will or lives O, the karmic progeny of all our former thoughts and deeds. So our former thoughts and deeds, they are following us and all bring to our mortal lives of will. Then in 149, take then as much as merit has in store for thee, O thou of patient heart, be of good cheer and rest content with fate. Such is thy karma, the karma of the cycle of thy births, the destiny of those who in their pain and sorrow are born along with thee. Rejoice and weep from life to life, chained to thy previous actions. So here, whether small or large karma, it is up to us to turn to the source of wisdom, where knowledge is unaltered and love all embracing. We are his children. Whatsoever we ask will be guaranteed us. So this day means this incarnation. The verse starts, thou canst create this day. This day is this incarnation. So this incarnation can be taken in hand. You must take your evolution in your own hand. And we can prepare the pattern by our thoughts and actions for morrow, means next incarnation. The great journey is our soul's birth into matter and the return to conscious union with the divine source. We have come from unconscious and moving towards the conscious divine source. We are all making this long journey. We shall in time become gods and divine beings. Then in 149 it says, it is the wheel of life. When we help others, it is very nice verse. Take then as much as merit has in store for thee, O thou patient. Here law of karma is explained. When we help others, where help is truly needed, and give our comfort and encouragement, then surely we are assisting our fellow pilgrims who in turn may help us in our time of need. Again, we must work for the work's self. We must help for the help's sake, not for the reward. So we must be of good cheer, no matter where we find ourselves in this incarnation, because for we created the conditions ourselves. No use to weep and mourn. The wise ones begin to view their future destinies now, never the post. Postponement is bad variety, bad attitude. So it is a call for action, and that action must be now. This is what we must learn from this. Then in 150, 50, 51, and 52, the wheel of life is explained very nicely again. Yeah. The act thou for them today, and they will act for thee tomorrow. You do for them today, and they will do for you tomorrow. The same thing is explained when we study the subhuman kingdoms. If you have pet dog, pet cat, if you are really caring them, then in next incarnation they will again come to you to help you. And in future, when they become human beings, not after this manvantara or after this round, they will get the chance of individualization. Their group soul gets individualized, and they come to your home as the servants. So act thou for them today, and they will act for thee tomorrow. This has the pregnant meaning which we must remember. Then 151, it is from the bud of renunciation of the self that springeth the sweet fruit of final liberation. Then 152, to perish doomed is he who out of fear of Mara refrains from helping man, lest he should act for self. The pilgrim who would cool his weary limbs in running waters, yet dares not plunge for terror of the stream, risks to succumb from heat. Inaction based on selfish fear can bear but evil fruit. In the next fragment, it is said, inaction in a deed of mercy is a deadly sin. So, to explain this, to work with no thought of self, but for the advancement of all life, is to gain the sweet fruit of the final liberation. The small self, the lower man, must no longer control our desires. So, we must control our lower self and let our higher self be the master. This is what we are always asked to meditate upon personality from the point of view of individuality. Individuality is the threefold: will, wisdom, and love. And it is reflected in our personality as the thought, desires, and feelings. So see that those thoughts are the noble thoughts, those feelings are the motiveless feelings, and those actions are really actions for the action's sake. So it may be action, but in truth it is inaction. So in that sense, karma, akarma, that was what Sanskrit word is used. So for the man, to perish doomed is he who out of fear of Mara refrains from helping man. Here Mara again, there are always difficulties in the path. When we tread the path, there are difficulties. We have to face the challenges. So challenges are need to be faced and overcome, lest he should act for self. The pilgrim who would cool his weary limbs in running waters, yet dares not plunge for terrors of the stream, risks to succumb from heat. Inaction based on selfish fear can bear but evil fruit. So for this man who hesitates to help his brother because he is uncertain as to whether or not he should, because he doubt himself. If confronted with a soul in distress, he must immediately do something about the situation. The joining of hands, the washing of one another's wounds, rejoicing in our neighbor's good fortune. These are the simple acts, but very important spiritually. These acts are prompted by the true spirit within. So once we know this, then we will follow these instructions and know this feel of life. Then we'll go to the next and last session, that is 153 to 57. So 153 says, the selfish devotee lives to no purpose. The selfish devotee lives to no purpose. The man who does not go through his appointed work in life has lived in vain. Then follow the wheel of life, follow the wheel of duty to race and kin, to friends and foe, and close thy mind to pleasures as to pain. Exhaust the law of karmic retribution and gain siddhis for thy future birth. See, if you do your duty to your race and kin, your duty to friends and foe, your duty to close thy mind to pleasure and pain, and you exhaust your all karmic retributions, then you will get the siddhis. Siddhis are the psychic superpowers, and you will get them tomorrow. Tomorrow means in the next birth, not immediately. So remember, don't try for this life, for the siddhis. You do your duty. And if siddhis has to be given, it should be reflected strongly, efficiently in the heaven. When we die and go into the heaven, in Swarga, then there the siddhis are given because you have done a good work to help others. And then the siddhis are given along with the responsibilities to take in the next incarnation. So let us remember, each time a deed of mercy is performed, a link of earthly bondage is weakened. That siddhis means our earthly bondage is weakened. Why we are not liberated? Because we are attached to the earthly bondages. And those earthly bondages are weakened when we do the deeds of mercy. Then in 153 it says, the selfish devotee lives to no purpose. The man who does not go through his appointed work in life has lived in vain. His life is in vain actually. So selflessness that we learn is the keynote of disciples' life. So we have to become more and more unselfish day by day. A disciple is one who is practicing the disciplines which will make the divine spark within him shine forth in all its glory. And not to have learned this truth in this life is equal to miss much valuable time. But then we can begin this work in the next life also. Those life is in vain, but don't lose the hope. Be faithful, trust your life, and then you can begin this work in the next life. It doesn't mean that we are postponing. It only means that we are not after the results. Let the result come at their own time. We have to do our project. Then it says, follow the wheel of life, follow the wheel of duty to race and kin, to friend and foe, and close their mind to pleasures as to pain. Thus exhaust the law of karmic retribution and gain the siddhis. Because the whole thing teaches us law of karma. The Lord of karma that we read in the theosophical teaching is nothing but the law of harmony. So see that each person is given whatever conditions, whatever circumstances, they are definitely suited to his growth. And the particular work which is needed for his progress is also given. So they have also decided a particular work. They are not thinking of your own interest. Actually, H.P. Blavatsky was very much interested in music, in piano. She wanted to progress in that. But she was taken to this, write down the secret doctrine and help for the Theosophical Society and carry this message to the world. So she expressed finally, I was really interested to develop music and piano, and I was wanted to enjoy that one, music. But let us remember, the Lord of Karma gives us the conditions for our own growth, and particular work also they give us. So the conscious worker, here conscious worker, is greatly needed by those who are guiding the destiny of our planet Earth. So to exhaust our karma in this life, we have to face the conditions. Face the conditions. Don't fight with them, because they are of our own making. So we must make right all inharmonious conditions in our immediate surroundings and our relationship with the others. That is to gain merit for our next life. We are ever on the alert mood to be of assistance to those who are in need of help, whether it be of the physical kind or spiritual kind. You can become a charitable. Anything that you have, everyone has got something to give to the others. So whether it be of the physical kind or spiritual, we should also be ever ready to treat with care even the animals and plant kingdom, mineral kingdom. Today, as we see, exploitation of all these kingdoms has been done to fulfill our own selfishness. Then 155 says, if you cannot be shunned, it says, if thou can't be son, it means if you cannot be a son, we all are going to be a son one day. If you cannot be a son, then be the humble planet. If you cannot be a son, then be the humble planet. If thou art debarred from flaming like the noonday sun upon the snow-capped mount of purity eternal, then choose, O neophyte, a humbler course. Very nice words they have used. Then in 156, HPB says, she points the way however dimly, and lost among the host, as does the evening star to those who tread their path in darkness. So, this clearly says why such instructions are given on the path. Because the path is not so easy. Even destined to lasting work is built in secret. You don't know when you will be rewarded. The lasting work is built in secret. It is done alone with but one witness, higher self. Your higher self is witnessing. He knows when the lasting work is done. If we cannot attain in this life, we shall at least have gained much ground, enabling us to be of some assistance in the evolutionary plan. We are told that there are times when a neophyte is used for some special work. Sometimes we may not know how useful we are, how we are useful as channels, and in some future life, we may wonder why we are suddenly blessed. We will have earned that blessing because nothing comes to us by accident. Then it says, point out the way, however dimly and lost amongst the host, as does the evening star to those who tread their path in darkness. So, all the great teachings and teachers advise those who have had the good fortune to have acquired a measure of spiritual knowledge to be ever ready to pass what they can to others. So, know first and let others know. By raising those around us, we raise ourselves. And HPB once said that every person who draws the breath of life affects the mental and moral atmosphere of the world and helps to color the day for those about him by what he says and does. This is how what we think, what we feel, how we behave, we affect the whole world consciousness. Krishnamurti said human consciousness is one. If you become virtuous, then that virtue is added into the field of human consciousness. Human consciousness is one field, and we are making day by day together the human consciousness purer and purer and purer. We are making that effort, but our efforts are definitely not giving results in the sense we are not doing with that full heartfulness. Then it is said, 157, last one. So if we are unable to make our world consciousness purer and purer, then we can invoke the power from others. So here it is said, behold Migmar. So here Migmar, we are invoking the planet Mars, Mangala. So we are invoking the Mangala, Mars. Behold Migmar. This is the word. Migmar is planet Mars. As in his crimson wheels, his eye sweeps over slumbering earth. Second says, behold the fiery aura of the hand of Lagpa. Lagpa is Mercury, Buddha. So two planets are very nearer to us. Of course, moon is there day and night. But this Mars and Mercury, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Something gone
Yes.
in my.
Everything is fine, sir. Continue.
It is something asking me, do you allow to make some? Anyway, I said
Even
no
so.
to it. So, behold, Migmar, as in his crimson wheel, his eye sweeps over slumbering earth. Behold the fiery aura of the hand of Lagpa, Mercury, Buddha, extended in protecting love over the heads of his ascetics. Both are now servants of Niyama. Niyama is the planet sun, not sun. And these Mercury and Mara are both are now servants of the sun. So we all are the servants of the sun. Mean we are invoking the Mara and Buddha for our help, and we want to become the servants of the light, sun. Left in his absence, silent watchers in the night. Yet both in Kalpas past were bright nemas. Bright nemas, nemas again word for sun, and may in future days again become two suns. Such are the falls and rises of the karmic law in nature. So even if we are not evolved or completed our work, then we may be carried into the next solar system. So we are in this solar system. We are asked to invoke Mars and Buddha in this solar system to evolve and get free. So here HPB in her footnote asserts that Migmar is Tibetan for the planet Mars and Lagpa is Mercury and Niyama is the sun. HPB also tells us that every heavenly body is the temple of a god, and the gods themselves are the temples of God. A philosopher once wrote, each of these stars is a religious house. Evidently, we owe more than we imagine to the planets of this solar system. Each different race, having been born under the influence of a certain planet, receives from that planet help, instructions, and certain characteristics. The planet Mercury, according to the secret doctrine, which is mentioned in the stanza 1 and 2, receives 7 times more light and heat from the sun than does the earth. Perhaps this is the reason for the ascetic receiving added strength and protection. All life is flux and change. Nations rise and fall. Beggars change places with the kings. It seems intended that all life should experience expansion of consciousness. Planets are also subject to this karmic law, and so may in future days again become two suns. So here we finish the two parts here it is mentions the path. One path is path of secret path, and second is the path of will. So these two we have finished today. I tried to make you intelligible as far as possible, because those who are having good English can understand more. So here Anibagent writes, the true mystic realizing God has no need of any scriptures, because he has touched the source where all scriptures flow. And then down I have quoted, fools remains foolish, the wise become wiser. It is your mental capacity to choose your path and the kind of people that you surround yourself with or follow. This is again Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Then HPB, as I said, we all are stars. The spirit holds us, that blueprint, the heart receives it, the mind interprets it, the will embodies it, and the body reveals it. Life bears witness. So here it is very important. The spirit is above. And with that fire of spirit, it comes down as the will. And with this will fire, we raise up to the, what we can say, a noble thought or mental plane. And that mental plane spreads all over. And that again we begin to desire. Will changes to desire. Desire again brings us down. And when we become desireless, we again rise up to the spirit. This is how we form a pentagon. So we are actually a star in that sense. Thank you very much. I am in time. I think we finish.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very, very interesting. So we can open up for any questions or queries. Sir, I have a small thing. What you have, the last one, 157. So what I think here it is telling that the last sentences both about Migmar and Lagpa, yet both in past kalpas past were bright nirmas, and may in future again become two suns. Such are the falls and rises of the karmic law in nature. So it is indicating that the planet Mars and planet Mercury were not Mercury, Venus, Mercury,
They become our
Mercury
solar
and
system.
Mars. They were suns before, so they, due to karmic reasons, they have become planet again.
Yeah. But they are destined to become our. It is said we have come from the moon, and next we are moving to Mercury.
That is
In that way, they give us that kind of help.
yes.
And we are in the different solar system, or we don't know, but this is what we can imagine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anybody would like to say or ask any questions?
Khanna is going to JK Khanna. He has raised his hand, I think.
Has he?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. In
Please.
chapter 17,
Huh.
in chapter 17, under secret path, there is one statement, sir.
What?
The statement is, the pepper plant will not give birth to roses,
Yes.
nor the sweet jasmines, silver star, to throne or thistle turn. What is the inner meaning of this statement, sir?
It is a poetic. How can paper plant give the other thing? See, the mango tree can give mango. It cannot give apple. So
Ah.
its nature is imbued in it. So whatever your
Yeah.
swadharma, that is
Ah.
expressed. So the cement swadharma is to glue,
Okay. Ah.
whereas candle swadharma is to melt. So this is everyone has got his own dharma, and according to dharma they show. That is what it wants to impress upon us, I think.
Ah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the inherent nature of every person is what is
Yes.
being explained. So it is important that first we identify as Swadharma before attempting to do too many things also in their life. You cannot expect a pepper tree to give you rose or something else. So that is the
Yeah.
inherent nature.
Okay. Okay. Sir.
Anybody
Any
else?
other questions, please? Okay, if nobody is there, Vimal, can you please?
So next meeting will be on the
Yeah.
6th August, no?
6th
Sir?
August.
6th
6
August.
August,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Sushma ji, would you like to give us the closing prayer?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful explanation.
Sushma ji.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतम गमय. From the unreal lead us to the real, from darkness lead us to light, from death lead us to immortality. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुर्भाग् भवेत्. शांति शांति शांति.
Thank you.
Everybody?
Thank you.
Okay.